uh, Shockbox Books. I'm Stacy James Meadows, and this is my first live, and see how it goes from here. Um, so I was gonna come on here. I don't know if anybody will join me on here or what's gonna happen here. I'm going live to see how this works. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna basically just talk because no one's here yet. So let's see what's going on. I'm gonna talk about my books here, a little bit about the history, but first, let me talk about myself a little bit. My name is Stacy James Meadows. I've always wanted to be a writer since I was young. Um, I welcome the two people that joined in. Thank you. So anyway, since I was young, I was always wanting to write stuff, and because I was bigly influenced by comic books, by different stuff like that. So I wanted to keep writing and bring my own stuff into the thing. So I wrote my own books now. I had a bunch of short stories and stuff. I've tried to get my books published a few times, way a long time ago, but it never happened. And basically, I moved around a lot. So when I moved around a lot, I didn't get that chance to really make a lot of friends and stuff. So that's probably why it's been hard for me to get out there and get discovered as a writer. I do have 4 books that I actually have written. The first one's right here. It's The Homeless Teddy, The Origins of Homelessness. It's a comic book. I came up with the concept when I was out homeless in California, and me and my brother were sitting there. We actually held up the signs, begging for money and stuff. So we were thinking, and I was playing a lot of Pokemon at the time, and they had that thing where they could throw in the teddy bear or whatever, the stuffed animal or something. I was like, what if we just put a teddy bear out here for us instead? And that's where the whole joke came up, and it evolved from there, and I kind of came up with some storylines. I've only got 1 book for it, but I actually have a whole bunch of ideas for other books and stuff that I think would be really neat. Um, I also came up with the concept for a movie for it, maybe eventually starring some comedians and stuff. But so that's my first book. Came out. It's just a bunch of drawings and stuff I did. I started drawing the concepts when I was in California, and then when I finally came back to Virginia to be here with my mom and dad, I started actually putting it together and making it into a book and got it published. And that was my first published book. My second one that I published was this one. It's The Movie Game. This was actually the second book I ever wrote. And it's actually a rule book for a game that you sit there and you watch TV. You watch any program, TV show, movie, whatever you want to watch. And it's got all the rules. It's got a point system in it that you can, whenever your character that you choose or whatever, if they do something that is in the point system, you get points for it. And whoever has the most points at the end of the movie wins. With that idea, I was thinking of maybe making specializing, because this is generic, it's like covers everything. Maybe specializing into different genres like westerns and sci-fi and fantasy and stuff like that, and even superhero stuff. And maybe even set it up for like sports games and stuff like that, and having different rules for it. And I also came up with the concept of trying to do a board game with it, where like you're in a movie theater and there's like 100 seats, 10 rows, and you have to work your way through them through the rows, and then you could either draw cards or you could actually watch a movie and play it that way and use it as a scorekeeper to keep your points. Everybody keeps tracks of their points in that way. So that was one thought I had with that. My third book was this, the Zombie Mansion, the game show. I made up a generic host. His name is Kenneth Withers. And basically with that, I was thinking of turning that into either more game show episodes or turn it into like an actual horror thing where he's actually behind sending these people and stuff's going on. Or instead of just a game show, I was thinking about trying to write it also as a one of those action, where you actually do the stuff, your physical challenge test, where you actually try to go explore the rooms physically and and stuff, and thinking about doing something like that too, writing it. And also and my last book I wrote is Gigi and Her Mysterious Past. And basically, this is Act 1, Lost and Found. Basically, that's just a martial arts girl. She's trained in a monastery, so she knows all kinds of mystical martial arts that normal people don't know. And anyway, she ends up being attacked by the clan, or what was it? Let's see, the Thousand Dark Hands. She's attacked by the Thousand Dark Hands, and she's on a boat and she's trying to escape from them, and they attack her, and then she get knocked overboard in an explosion from the boat, and she loses her memory. So she doesn't remember what she's doing or anything. And then she washes up on shore in the USA, and they basically she's by herself, but she can't remember what she's doing, but she kind of remembers her name, and she knows she has special abilities not many other people have. So she ends up looking around, and she finds that there's another guy. He's exploring, doing like a ghost exploration thing. His name is Tommy Whistler, and she goes and finds him, and Tommy Whistler actually tries to help her, and he offers towards the end of the book, end of Act 1, he's gonna invite her to go back to his place so he can help her out because he feels bad for her since he doesn't remember why she's there and stuff. And so I'm thinking about turning that into like a romantic thing. I've got some other books and stuff too. A lot of books that I want to write, but I haven't wrote yet. I have some other stuff that's just Kindle exclusive stuff that is just little short, either chapters or little short stories and stuff like that. Um, so basically, it's just my books and stuff. Now I haven't really got very far with any of this. Like I don't really get any sales hardly at all with that. So my whole reason for joining TikTok to begin with is because I got the advice that I should check out TikTok and try to get big on TikTok because that's a good place where many people get their start at and stuff. So I came to check out TikTok, and I have to say it's been pretty interesting. I have been building up a lot. Um, the thing is, it's not going as fast as I would like it to, and part of that is because I work a normal job. I work in a gas station. I'm not going to say the name or company or anything. I work in a gas station, and for the longest time, I was the weekends overnight. I'd work like 11 to 7 in the morning. But I've been there for a little over a year now, and they decided to move me up to management. So now with that, my schedule's been all chaotic. So I don't even know what my schedule is going to be from one week to the next. They'll have me working this shift, that shift, this shift, because they want me to learn all the shifts and stuff so I can be a good manager. I don't really like my job that much, but I have to do it because it pays the bills, you know. So that's why I've tried to get people to notice my books, maybe start making book sales and stuff. That way I can get my stuff off the ground and get stuff going. But other than that, I mean, it's TikTok's been good to me so far. I've got like almost 7,000. I was kind of hoping to do this when I reached 7,000 followers, but I think I'm still 200 short or something like that. I'm making 7,000 followers, so I'm trying to do that, but at the same time, it's not really working that great. But at the same time, I'm thinking trying to do live. So I want to see how this live thing does and maybe see how subscriptions do. Maybe I can start getting some funding. And if I could get enough funding, I could start doing more books and stuff because I have a lot of books that I want to write. Gotta imagine I'm 52 years old now, and I think I started dreaming of writing when I was like 12 or something like that. So I have like over 40 years of stories in my head that I need to get out there and get told. Uh, I've got a bunch of superhero stuff where I made my own superheroes, my own supervillains. I've got a bunch of random stories that I want to do, like just different stuff. Maybe I could cover that in other things. Um, I mean, I just got a bunch of books I want to write. And I like to get through them and actually make money from them because when you're writing and you don't make any money, it's like, who am I writing this for? Nobody's reading it. Nobody's enjoying it. I don't know if my writing's good or bad because nobody buys it. Nobody gives me any feedback for it. So I think they're good stories. Personally, I like them. I mean, and I tried to check out a lot of the book talkers on here. And to be honest, there's a lot of females on here. And they're real good. They're friendly and everything. But the thing is, I don't think my books really are in their taste. Because I think they're more looking for the romance. Which they might like the Gigi and Her Mysterious Past, Act 1, Lost and Found. Which, by the way, all my books are available on Amazon, Kindle, and Gigi is also available in places like Barnes and Nobles online and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really cool. Um, anyway, so this is basically me just want to rant and talk about my books and stuff and let you know what I'm about. So what I'm trying to do on here is I'm going to try to let you know about my books and stuff. Try to keep you let you know if I'm going to be working on new stuff. Hopefully I get enough support on here that I can get somewhere with this. So I'm just trying to get this off the ground, get this going. If I can get some funding and stuff, because I don't really have no money coming in from this. I'm just doing this more or less as a hobby right now. If I can get some funding and some supporters, maybe do this live thing, get support, and get some actual readers, or I can start doing subscription videos and people can subscribe to me, and that would really help me out a lot. And I could do like things with my subscription videos, like actually show some stuff that I'll be working on that hasn't come out yet, and different stories. Maybe I can even read some of my stories on there and stuff like that that people haven't got to see yet. And that's what I'm hoping to get from that. So anyway, that's really all I want to do. Is I like to do that with my books and get them out there and get people to support me and support my art and my books and different stuff like that. I have a I had started doing, like, when I first put out my first book, the Homeless Teddy Comics. I tried to get more than just pushing the book out, but I didn't have no following. So I tried to also do like shirts. That's where this shirt comes from. Is the Homeless Teddy. It's the only one I've ever made of it. So this is the only shirt copy of that, which I use as a character for my salesman thing in these videos. Which I'm trying to, if you don't know, some people might get confused by it, but it's like I'm like trying to do a kind of like a wrestling promo with my character. It's like kind of like, think about wrestlers where they might act like that in real life, but they're hyping up their character more, you know. So with my salesman, I'm trying to make it where he has no sales coming in and he's slowly losing his mind. And he's trying to think of all these crazy ways that people can use his books because his books aren't selling. So I come up with stuff like use them as a doorstop, use them as toilet paper or tissue paper to blow your nose, burn them. I don't care. Just do something. Buy some books. That's what the whole point of that character is. It's just he's going crazy. He's not getting these sales, and he's trying to get his books to sell. I think the videos are funny, but I don't know. I haven't really got much intake on it. I got a few people say, "Oh, this is a hilarious video," but other than that, I really haven't got much video things for it. So yeah, I've been trying to make a character, you know, that's kind of funny that maybe people laugh at, and then they can share it with other people, and let them get good laughs too. Um, but overall, um, that's what I'm just trying to do. I'm trying to entertain people. I write. I'm not trying to be one of those writers that wants to be so politically correct with their writing and have all these things that they're trying to get across, like good points and stuff like that, like some ambiguous, like, you know, like some kind of meaning to it. I'm writing just to write, to have fun, to make stories that I want to write about that go a certain way. I might try to make it realistic, you know, or whatever, but I ain't trying to make a point or trying to do anything like that. And like, there might be a story line with some point in it, but I'm not trying to go for some grandiose thing. I'm just writing to write. I'm just trying to have fun. And I think my stories would be good for people to read and just enjoy and spend a few minutes of their time just being happy, you know? And that's what I think my story should be about. And that's what I'm trying to do with my stories, is try to get them out there so people can enjoy them and actually have fun with them. I try to make characters like Gigi, or I'm gonna eventually try to make my own world. I'm gonna try to build up my own world with my own situations going on, and I'm gonna have stuff out like T-shirts and stuff like that. Like, oh, where I was going back with this T-shirt thing, I had when I first came out with my Homeless Teddy Comics thing, I wanted to do I wanted not only to make the book, but I wanted to do T-shirts and coffee mugs and hats and this and that. And I actually got a couple bags with two different designs on them, like two different design T-shirts and two coffee mugs, and that was really it. That's all I made, and none of them sold. Then I tried to run an ad in our local newspaper, and that flopped miserably because I don't even think anybody was reading it, especially when I put it in a newspaper in the section that they put it in the newspaper at. I don't think hardly anybody saw it. And so that flopped. And my first book was an abysmal flop, basically. Um, I tried to give out like free samples of it from here and there, but I never could get anybody really to get into them. My first three books, or the two books, I actually took to our local comic book shop and for comic book day, and I told them, hey, pass these out as your free, as free comics too. You know, put them out there, let people get them. And it took those all. I don't even think they. I don't think they really passed out well. He finally got rid of them all. Yeah, I mean, gave them out to people, but I think it took him a long time to do for it because I just don't think people around here are into really the same thing I am. Anyway, yeah, that's how that went. So that was abysmal with my first books, and with the last book I did, GG, I was trying to figure out, well, my first three books ain't selling. They ain't doing anything. So let's try to get away from Amazon Kindle. Let's try to go with, I forgot what the name of it was. Oh, Ingram Sparks. Let's go with Ingram Sparks and try that and see what we can do with that. And I tried to get it in, which I did get it online in Barnes and Nobles, and there's a few other places I tried to actually get physical copies in the stores and stuff, but for some reason that's almost impossible to do. But anyway, I tried to do that, and yeah, these books ain't selling really that great at all. So any support for buying my books, or if you want to support me on here, that would be really, really helpful. Anyway, not sure what else to talk about here. Uh, some other books I want to do is I got this great story. It would be great for kind of want to release it around Halloween too, because that would be the whole point of it. But basically, it's several part story here. This is a big story, crossovers and stuff. But it's basically, I'm gonna call this series a time warp series. And basically, it's gonna be there's gonna be a first book. It's gonna be called Cards of War, CAL for short. And basically, what it is these two demons. They're bored. They're waiting for this big thing to happen, but they're low down on the demon thing. They know it's not going to happen, so they want to play a game with each other. Of course, demons like to cheat and all sorts of stuff. So they come up with a magical deck of cards that they create themselves with their own magic. And basically, it pulls in the souls of evil creatures, people, whatever. They have to be evil. If they're not evil, the cards won't work on them. And it pulls their souls into the cards. And then the cards are played as the war game, the basic war game. But there's a caveat because they're demons. Sometimes the high card wins, sometimes the low card wins. So it could vary depending on the fluctuation of magic and stuff like that. And also they play it, and one of the demons wins, and the other one wants a rematch, but they know they can't do a rematch normal way. So basically, what they have to do a rematch is reset the time frame and restart the whole game over again to have a rematch. So they go to this other demon, and they tell him, we need this powerful spell to make it so we can go back in time and replay this game again and see if he's actually better at this game than me or if we're equals or whatnot. And so this other demon, he agrees to it. But he has plans of his own after he hears this. He comes up with plans of, if I do this, I could actually go take over the world. And I could use my time powers, the time powers from their spell. They get what they want, and I could try to take over the world. So he goes back in time too. They replay their game again, of course. And it's a tie. The other one's going to win this time. And that demon does a thing where he goes and he's going to try to take over the past. And he's going to rule the land or whatever, the world. Well, in our time, present day, there's an oil field worker. And our oil service company worker that, he's taking some cement. He's going to deliver cement for a cement job that they're going to do for oil field well. And it's late at night, and he goes and he gets lost, and because of all this weird stuff that happens, he ends up traveling back in time, and he has to fight the armies of stuff using a sledgehammer as a main weapon, and his padded armor of wearing his thick winter stuff and his hard hat and stuff like that. He goes to war with this demon, and he actually beats the demon, but the demon plays one last joke up his hand. He has the power to send him back in time 2 days before he left, giving him the winning numbers for the lottery that's going to be drawn. So when he does that, he ends up playing the winning numbers, getting them to his other self, letting him play the winning numbers, so he never went on that trip to go there. So therefore, he never went back in time. So the demon is still free. But because he did that, now all these other heroes from different time periods, different people and different stuff, are going to form a band. And they're getting pulled from their different sections, so I'm going to write that. And then they're going to go and take out the demon themselves. And that's going to be the Time Warp series, where I'm writing different stories in different time periods, and then all these heroes are going to get sucked into a different, like, they're going to get pulled into like a gateway or something, and then they're going to end up, at the end, they all have to join forces and go take out the demon. Then, but while that happened, while that demon cast that, there's this little imp that runs around. And this is the one I was thinking that would be really good for Halloween. So he uses that magic to open a portal. In the portal, you know how gas stations have those big signs at the front, and you can walk underneath them, and it's kind of like a doorway if you think about it, because it's separated. It looks like a door, but there's no walls or anything around it. Well, the portal happens to be in the middle of this gas station sign. So this imp's going to go through it, and he really wants to come out on Halloween. He wants to go trick-or-treating and get candy like all the kids do, because he really wants to try these candies and stuff. He's really interested in it. So he's going up to him, and if people refuse to give him candy or whatever, or he'll say, a monkey says what? And if they say what, they get turned into a monkey until midnight. So this is going to play into effect because he hits this apartment complex. And in this apartment complex, he's going to go door to door, And the first couple he gets, it's like an old couple, right? And like, I'm not gonna really talk about the ones that just, they give him what he wants and he's happy and he continues on and he doesn't try to do it. But this old couple, the old man answers the door and he's hard of hearing anyway. And he says, "What?" And he gets turned into a monkey. And then the rest of the thing is his wife's trying to take care of him while he's a monkey. She's trying to figure out what to do and stuff. And so that's going to be that one. Um, the next house he goes to will be like this guy. He came home. He's on the run from the mob because he did something to really mess him up, and these killers are after him. So he's just going to basically hit his place, get his stuff out, and get the hell out of there. He's going to go on the run. Well, the imp shows up at his door, and he gets turned into a monkey. So now he's trapped in this room, and these killers come and look through his room and see the monkey, and they don't know it's him. Otherwise, they probably would have killed the monkey. But anyway, they're waiting for him to come back because they now know that he has this pet monkey. Thing is, he doesn't realize that at midnight he's going to turn back to human, and if he's still in that room at midnight and turns back into human, these guys are probably going to kill him. So that's going to be tension built there. I haven't really thought all of that part of the story out yet, but that's where I really want to build some tension up. Anyway, after that, I might have a few other stories from other apartments, some messed up stuff that happens to other monkeys, but I don't really thought that far either. But the thing is, when the imp leaves through the portal, he doesn't shut the portal. The portal's still open. And the portal, the way it's set up, is it goes from one mirror universe to another. So these people go from universe to universe if they pass through this portal. Some of them don't know it, some of them do, some of them discover it. And so I have lots of messed up storylines with that, where like one dude goes through and he decides he's gonna, once he realizes, hey, this is a portal here, these are two different universes, and there's a lady working in this convenience store, I could mess her up real good and get all the money and stuff, and then I could run back to the portal and nothing never happened to me because this is another universe. So he does that. He goes in there, he messes this girl up real bad, but she sees him go through the portal. And even though she's in the doctor's office for several weeks and stuff, she eventually comes back and she goes to the portal and she finds him at his house because using the research in her world, she realized who this guy was, and they even tried to arrest the guy. They thought that was the one that did it, but he had an alibi because he was nowhere around. He was somewhere else, and he had an alibi that was actually, people were talking to him. He was on cameras and stuff in this other place. There's no way he could have done it. But she realized where that dude lived, maybe this was an alternate universe, and she discovered the portal. And so she goes to that dude's house, and she messes him up. And then there's other people that get stuck in there, and like they don't know it. They go to like their house, right? They're thinking they didn't know they went to another universe, so they go to their house, right? And they go in, and someone thinks that they're breaking in, and she kills them right off. Stuff like that, different stories like that. I think that would be a really interesting little side track thing for the whole thing. So that's one of my storylines. My other ones revolve around superheroes and stuff like that, but I really like that one. So yeah, people like my stories. They should help support me and try to get me out there to some stories and stuff. I don't know how well this is doing. It looks like I got 288 likes on here. That's pretty cool if that's true. Um, Nobody's really said nothing. They just join and then I guess they take off again. It doesn't say nothing when anybody leaves. It says like I have one person up here, I guess, that's still here. If you can hear me, say hi or something. Uh, anyway, yeah, I don't know if this is good or bad or what. Got no feedback. Nobody's really talking. People like the live, I know that. I'm glad people are enjoying it. But I guess they don't really not really into saying much here, or I guess they're just checking it out and stuff. Be fun if people talk to me. I could answer questions and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, that's me. I'm a writer. Been on here for about probably 35 minutes or so, so I guess we should wrap this up. I thank everyone who did join me and all the people that liked. And I guess, yeah, we'll call it there. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for checking me out. And we'll call it on this one. I'm gonna try to do this again, see how it goes a few more times. Probably next week I might try to do it Monday and Friday and maybe even Wednesday. I can't promise anything because my work schedule is chaotic, and also I don't live alone, so I can't really set up space and make sure I'm left alone because I live with my parents. I live with my mom, my stepdad, my nephew. He's like 5 years old, and or 4. He's almost 5. He's only 4, and my brother, who's actually his dad, and we all live together in this house. And my nephew, he runs around like crazy and makes all kinds of noise. And if he knows I'm around, he just wants to spend time and hang out with me, which I don't mind. He doesn't really have that many friends, in the house, so I got spend time with him. And so anyway, I appreciate everybody showing up, and I did show up, and hopefully I'll be able to do this again soon. But maybe we can get more people here to join us and have fun. Like I said, I'll try to be on here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday if I can. If I can't, I won't be able to. But if I can, I'll try to make notices, letting you know on my on my videos and stuff that I'm gonna do another live, and also I'm gonna try to do some other stuff. I appreciate y'all for joining me and let me talk about my books a little bit. Maybe I'll have a different conversation next time. Thank you, everybody, and have a good one. And remember,